Can you tell me, what are your party's key policies to assist children and adults with a disability and their families, and why should people with an interest in disability issues vote for your party at this election?
Well, for a start, we come from the position that everybody has a right to fully participate in community, at whatever level and however that they like. And they also have the right to make decisions over their own lives and to choose how they want to live their lives. So that's where we come from. With People for Disabilities, we believe the community has a responsibility to provide the services and support to enable people living with disabilities to be able to participate in society and in community. So for a start, we think there needs to be a lot more funding injected into key services for people living with disabilities, for their carers, and particularly for parents of children, supporting children living with a disability. And that needs to come for a variety of services: supported accommodation, for specialty services, for training, for education support, the whole range of services, and of course for respite care. Now, we all know there's vast unmet need in Australia around disabilities and services for people living with disabilities, and that needs to be addressed. We would much rather see the $34 billion worth of tax cuts invested in public services, and of course that needs to include supporting people living with disabilities and their carers.
And what about the whole of life idea that, we do provide certain, patchy support across a person's life, but there are great big gaps, especially as children approach school leaving age?
Well, anybody working in disabilities, or anybody who does have a disability or is caring for a person with a disability will know the disjunct of services across Australia and for people as they're ageing with a disability. And for example, when you're 18, you come off for the supports as a child with a disability, you go on to adult with a disability, and there's a huge problem there. We believe there needs to be whole of life planning for somebody living with a disability, so that they know for certain when they will be getting services. We know as a community to plan for that person for each stage of their life. We know when they'll need supported accommodation. We know when they need other services for their equipment, so there's no hassles around how they get equipment and transferring it across jurisdictions. The amount of bureaucracy that people living with a disability or those caring for a person living with a disability suffer from is enormous, and it's an extra burden on people that don't need that sort of burden.